Well, it's Monday morning. Getting things loaded. Last night was my last night here. I'm going to miss this place. I'm not really going to miss camping all that much. I'm much going to prefer having a motel and not having to poop in a bucket. I've got stuff, I'm having to pull stuff out of here, and I got stuff piled on top of the, keep calling it Blazer, because I owned a Blazer for so long. Explorer. But, yeah, last night, I didn't have time to grab the camera. Well, let me turn this around. I'm trying to get this phone the right angle, but can't find my phone holder. I think it's probably buried in there somewhere. But anyway, I forgot what I was going to say now. Anyway, it's about 9:30-ish. This is driving me crazy. All right. A little lopsided, but at least get it down where I'm not sticking through the. I want to be able to lean back in my chair here and relax. Anyway, kind of surprised I haven't seen my buddy. I figured he'd be coming around either yesterday or today to roust me and make sure that I'm getting out of here. But I haven't seen him. So either he's forgotten about me, or he decided that he didn't want to argue with me anymore. Because I know the law too. But, I stayed the agreed amount of time, and it is the, morning of the 3rd, and I'm getting out of here, when I told him that I'd be getting out of here. So, yeah, I've still got a lot to do. I can't check into the motel until 3. So it's not like it's a major hurry. But so I'm just trying to take my time because I'm still, like I've said before, I'm still trying to get my stamina back because I was really sick. And so it affected all my organs, from what the doctors were telling me. And they told me that it was going to be a while before I got back to full strength, and it's only been a few weeks. So April 29th was the day I had surgery. So I think I'm doing pretty good. My scar there's only one part of it that still looks kind of grody. The rest of it, it's healing very well. I've still got that hole down there where they had the tubes, but it's scabbing over and healing. So I'm doing pretty good, and I'm getting more stamina all the time. There was a couple of days I didn't feel very good, and I don't feel 100% today by any means, but I feel good enough I can get this done and get everything loaded. And I'm just going to have to pace myself and take my time, not overdo it. But it's interesting too. And like I said, I don't want to get my hopes up, but I find the timing kind of coincidental that I found a place to live, and also that there's that opening for the dispatcher at the police department here in Show Low, which is pretty good money. Even if I had to pay $1,000 a month to stay in that hotel, remote motel, I wouldn't consider it a hotel by any means. It's kind of a rat trap motel, but it's a place to live. I'm not overly enthralled about the condition of the place, but I'd like to have found something with a kitchenette. I thought that they had kitchenettes, and they don't. So I'm not going to be able to cook. So I think what I'm going to do, although everybody look at the reviews of the place and they're talking about all these blowing breakers, so I don't know. Still beats the homeless shelter by a mile. This beat it, being out here camping, but and it's pretty out here. I mean, you can't beat the scenery, that's for sure. But I don't know. I started to tell a story. Last night I was doing some Bible reading, laying on my cot, just reading, studying a little bit, and I heard this sound, and I swear it sounded like a bear growling. And I'm laying there, and I'm like, it was kind of like, I mean, I can't do the sound, but that's what it sounded like to me. And it's like, because I hadn't heard anything, and all of a sudden I heard this growl, and it sounded really, really close. And so I'm like, and so I get up, I look out my window, and it was actually this gigantic wild horse snorting. I think it was the leader. He was huge, absolutely huge horse. And there must have been a herd of about 20. Now, I saw probably 7 or 8 new ones, but I'm thinking it had to be at least 20 of them. And they were kind of traipsing through here. But I saw the one mom with her baby, and then there was another mom with her baby. So there was 2 young ones. And then there was a bunch of big males. I mean, it was a herd of pretty big horses. Well, there was all different sizes. There was this one that was like a gray, I don't want to say spotted, but it's hard to describe. I can't remember what they call them. But it looked completely different than the rest of them. The rest of them were either like a dark brown or medium brown. There was a few light brown ones too, and the babies were both light brown, really light brown, tan, kind of. And but they were just coming through here, and I'm just like watching them. I don't know why I didn't grab the camera, but the one was pretty close, the one I heard snort. But I'll tell you one thing, and it's funny, I texted Mark and told him about it, my sister too. I hadn't heard back from her yet, but told Mark, I said it scared the crap out of me. I said, but there had to be at least 20 horses. And he goes, well, 20 horses is better than 1 bear. It's like, yeah, absolutely. The horses ain't going to try to eat me. And they don't have big claws. They can sure stomp the crap out of you, though, if they were mean. But they're around here. Everyone I've seen, it's like, I've gone out there to talk to them and stuff, and they've never been reactive at all. They're always really calm, and they don't come ripping through here. They're just walking along and grazing and pooping. That's about it. They're just, I don't know if they're used to probably seeing campers and used to people, and so people don't really bother them too much. Because one day, last week I think it was, I walked clear out to them almost. And a couple of them started walking toward me, like being friendly, it's like, so, and maybe people feed them from now and again. Maybe they bring them apples and carrots and whatever, and so they maybe saw me as a food source. And then, and I didn't give them anything, of course, and they don't have middle fingers, so otherwise, Dude, you come out here to talk to us and you don't even bring us any food. You cheapskate. But hey, I'm doing good to feed me, much less wild animals. And they don't want you feeding them anyway, so. But yeah, it's pretty cool. There's been some really good, I don't really have anything bad to say about this other than, I don't know, when I came back here for some reason, I didn't realize I was so close to the road. I mean, I'm really, really close to the road. But once I got everything set up and everything, it's like, no, I didn't have the energy to try to set it up again, because I've seen some places that would have been a lot better to camp, just driving around or walking around. I was walking around yesterday and I found a place over here that's like, oh shoot, I wish I'd have seen this first, because it's back there hidden, whereas this is more open here. You can see the tent from the road really well. I had no problem finding, when I went into town, I had no problem finding the tent when I came back. It's like driving along, it's like, yeah, that's pretty out in the open. But it's been, it's been pretty good. Different shade at different times of the day. Like, it's already warm. It's already pretty warm. So I'm sitting in the shade now, so that, you could see me better if I was sitting in the sun, but I ain't sitting in the sun. I'm sitting where it's comfortable. And there's a nice breeze. Yesterday it was blowing. Yesterday, man, that wind was just a whipping almost all day long. But actually, it felt pretty good, honestly. But anyway, I'm trying to get everything all gathered up and be glad when everything's loaded. And a couple things I got to do in town. I'm trying to remember what they were. I can't even remember what they were now. But, oh, yeah, I know what I was going to do. I think what I'm going to do is go to Walmart. I sidetracked myself. I was talking about the blown breakers. Okay. The reason I mentioned that is because I'm thinking I'm going to get me a hot plate. I think it's like for $25, I can get me one of those hot plates with 2 burners. And then either get me a coffee maker or one of those electric kettles, to heat up water. It's easier to do that than it is try to heat it up in the microwave and then try to go grab the container out of there because it's hot. It's easier just to use they've got one at Walmart. I think it's like $12 for it's 1.7 liters, which is plenty. Only use near that much. But, I can make my coffee and make, for like use it for ramen or whatever. I think there's a microwave in the room, but I don't know. I've read a lot of reviews where they say this doesn't work, the microwave didn't work, the fridge didn't work. And if the fridge doesn't work, I'll just take mine in there, plug it in. I did that one other place. I can't remember which motel it was, but the fridge wasn't working, so I went out and grabbed my refrigerator, took it in the room, plugged it in, kept everything cold. So I'll work it one way or the other, because I got to be able to cook. I can't afford to eat out all the time, and I don't want to just eat stuff that you cook in the microwave. That's just not, be okay for a few days, but not long term. So I don't know if hot plates and stuff like that are allowed, but, I'm getting me one. Because if I'm going to pay $1,000 a month to stay in a place, I got to be able to cook. Because, spending that much for rent, I'm not going to have money to eat out and do DoorDash and all that stuff. So I'm going to have to cook and be able to, there's a lot of things I can cook in the microwave, like ramen and stuff like that, but I want to cook like, normal food. I want to cook bacon and eggs. I want to cook, bacon, eggs, and hash browns, and you know, hamburgers, whatever I feel like having, I want to be able to cook it. And the only way that I think I'm going to be able to do that is to have a hot plate, because they don't have kitchenettes. I thought that they did, but they don't. And not the most impressive of places, but the thing is, I don't plan on staying there that long. I'm hoping that I'm really going to push, you know, and it would be a lot easier having, it's hard to do it out here because I can only run the computer for so long, you know, before it drains the generator. And it's hard to do that out here. And they say that their internet's supposed to be really fast, and I also don't have to use my hotspot, which will speed things up if they have decent internet. Because there's been a couple of places I've stayed that the internet was so freaking fast, unbelievable. Like when I stayed at that Green Tree Inn, it's like I went to upload a video and it took like 10 seconds. And it would have taken 45 minutes on my hotspot. I mean, it was the fastest internet I've ever seen. And this place is supposed to be getting gigabyte internet, whatever. And then they've got like 120 streaming channels, which I think is, included with the rent. You know, I just hope they don't raise it, but I don't know. That doesn't come in until August 31st, and I don't plan on being there that long. You know, 1, maybe 2 months at the very most. You know, and if I don't find something within 2 months, I can't keep paying $1,000 a month for rent. I just go back to camping. But I'm hoping, you know, I'm going to apply for that job. There's 2 or 3 other jobs I'm going to apply for as well. The dispatch job pays, like I think I've said this before, it starts out $46,000. And with experience, it might actually start out a little more, because I do have a lot of experience. So I don't know. But hey, if they start me out at the minimum, I'm fine with $46,000. Because that will, you know, that would definitely help me to get back on my feet, get a place to live, and if I'm making that kind of money, I could actually splurge a little bit more. I don't want to. I'd rather find, but they do base it on your income. It's like 30% of your income, you know, for the low-income housing. But I don't know if I was making that kind of money. I don't know if I'd qualify for low income, actually. But then I really haven't checked out other apartments. I've just been checking out ones that I could, you know, get the low income option on. It's where it's 30% of your income, which at this particular point wouldn't be a whole lot of money, but about $300. So we'll see how things work out. You know, like I said, I will miss this to a certain extent. I won't, you know, if I was out like this and had like a cabin instead of a tent, you know, like a regular place, and had electricity and everything, God, this would be an absolute perfect. But the thing is, a lot of places around here are just like this. You know, there's trees everywhere, regardless. I mean, every apartments that I've driven by, you know, the scenery around it is just beautiful. So, you know, I'm really, really hoping that I can stay here. I love this area. I haven't had an area hit me like this. I don't think I've ever, honestly, that I can think of where I've ever been in an area and like, I want to stay here. You know, at least as much as this area here has affected me. You know, it feels like home to me. You know, it really does. And I don't want to leave unless I have to. If I have to, I have to, you know. And things will work out or they won't, you know. So if it's meant for me to go somewhere else, then I'll go somewhere else. But I just am just so drawn to this area. I'm just really, really hoping that I can stay here. Really hoping. So keep praying for me, because I just want to see things work out and get back to living a normal life. You know, I just hope that, like with the dispatch job, they don't have a problem hiring somebody who's at retirement age, you know, almost 2 years past retirement age, you know, because you're 65, I'm going to be 67 in August, so, man. It's hard. It's still hard for me to believe that I'm that old. But not the way my body feels. If I go by the way my body feels, the heck is that? It's a big old truck, Forest Service. I don't know what the heck they got. Huh. Well, anyway, I just figured I just felt like making a video since this is my last day here. And I'll tell you what, if you're ever looking for a good place to camp, this area is awesome. This area is absolutely awesome. I don't think I've enjoyed, well, yeah, I have enjoyed other areas. Alamo was nice. I liked Alamo. I liked the campsite south of Needles, but not as much as I like here. I like trees. I much prefer trees to deserts. Trying to talk Mark into moving over here, because he's selling his place in Idaho and selling his place in Phoenix. I told him, I said, you need to come over here and check this out. So he might do that if I end up staying here. He's going to be heading down. I can't remember what he said, but it'd be kind of cool to have him come here and but I still think he wants to stay in the Phoenix area. Well, actually, what he wants to do, he said he wanted to find a condo in Boise, which it's too cold in the winter. I don't want to mess with snow, especially in a big city, because Boise's gotten really, really big. And driving in the snow and ice in a big city with a bunch of crazy people, not my cup of tea. I've done it. Been there, done that. Don't like it at all. And so, anyway, I don't know what else I was going to say. I don't know. Nothing of any significance, probably. I've told you everything pretty much that I can tell you. But, oh, that breeze feels good today. Sitting in the shade, because it's warm out there in the sun, let me tell you. But sitting here in the shade with the breeze blowing, perfect. But I still got a lot of work to do. So I need to get busy, get the rest of it loaded, and go do what else I need to do. And then 3 o'clock, check in to my room. I don't know why you got to wait till 3 o'clock when the thing's already supposed to be ready, but weird. But yeah, I could probably just sit here and fall asleep. I'm so comfortable right now with this breeze. Totally comfy. Anyway, I will keep you guys updated on everything that's going on. And like I say, appreciate your prayers. Please keep praying, because I really want to stay here. I really do. Alrighty. We shall catch you next time. Same bad time, same bad channel.